heart attack, fast fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and packs. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're just freaked out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kira's Show here, and now I am going to be answering all of your guys' questions. And hopefully this will actually give you guys a bit more details. Now, let's begin. The first question is, what is the funniest joke I've ever heard? Now you see that as a very tough one. I've got a few that would actually probably be considered that, but I don't think I can remember a lot of them. There is one that comes to mind, but it's more or less a joke basically talking about I don't want to repeat the same thing 5 times. Anyways, glossing over that. Let's see. Mobile gaming or PC? I play on consoles. I do not play mobile games. And I do own a laptop, but I do not own a computer. I do have a Discord. That third question I'm not even too sure how to respond to, because I was actually going to start working out in a minute. But, well, let's see, the next question after that. I am actually 19 years old. A lot of people think I am in my mid-20s, which kind of surprises me. Let's see. Out of all of your what ifs, is your favorite? Do you watch other what ifs? Yes, I do sometimes try and watch other what if YouTubers, but the fact is I sometimes either get too busy or, well, I kind of run into one of those what ifs that are the weird ones. They could be considered the problematic what ifs sometimes, and, to be completely honest, that kind of just throws me away from the genre. For a minute. But my favorite what if that I've ever done, I want to say that that's a bit harder. Because I would say Ultraviolet Lantern Deku, because that one was 58 parts long, almost double the entire thing on my channel. Probably one of my longest running series too, considering the fact that it took me an entire month to start the story and finish it. Will you do a face reveal when you reach 1 million subs? No. To be honest, I'm not too sure when I will do a face reveal. I do know, however, that a lot of these questions are talking about that. I even said in this video that I was not doing a face reveal if someone does answer that question. Anyways, going over that, in the future, do you plan on doing YouTube as a full-time job, a second job, or just a hobby? Well, to be honest, I would like to do YouTube as a full-time job. But I kind of more or less like getting out of the house. Even though I do suffer from asthma, and going outside probably isn't the best thing for me, it's sort of just the way I am. In fact, I do think I have another... Actually, I think I can explain this more in another question. Or at least, I can probably explain it now. People are wondering what I do for work, since I do have a job. I work in retail. I actually used to work outside, but the whole thing was I worked around a lot of smokers. And that kept triggering my asthma, causing me to basically have, well, episodes. So I had to get a job inside somewhere. Do you like turtles? Yes. Now, do you like snapping turtles? I actually used to have a friend who owned a snapping turtle. We would feed it watermelon, and it was hilarious. I miss that thing. Wonder if he still has it. It was weird too. He it was weird because I always expect people to own dogs, but this was the first time I've met someone who does not own a cat or a dog. They owned a turtle. And this thing was huge. How are you and can you do a what if you were in My Hero Academia? You see, I have thought about doing that series, but there are a few quirks I am trying to throw around in my head. One of the quirks I have is very OP and is kind of unique, in the way it has a drawback. And I am also trying to find other ways to mess around with some quirk ideas. But if I ever do eventually do that series, I want to make sure that I can do it differently and make sure that it is right. Alrighty. Kirisho, 2 questions. Why did you start making videos? And what has been you favorite what you've seen and or made? Okay. So I did just answer the second question. But why did I start making videos? Well, that's a bit more complicated. If you guys do know, I believe it's Comic Sans the Man. I think he might have changed his username on YouTube. Anyways, but he has a series called UA Year 1. And I actually did create the thumbnail and, well, that picture he has for his character. I didn't draw the character. He sent me a photo of it, and I basically cleaned it up some and put in some eyes, and color in the face and or body. And because of that, he did give me a shout out. But there was another thing going on where I did create a character for UA, Year 1. That character was actually the first what if I ever came up with. The character Kirisho Maniku. His quirk is bone manipulation. It's somewhat of a half mutation, but it's also somewhat of a physical ailment. Basically, think of it as a weaponized genetic deficiency. There is a disease in real life where if you suffer from damage and or cuts and or, well, tissue scarring, you will grow bone back in its place instead of regular muscle tissue. That whole thing was kind of interesting to me whenever I first saw it. And thinking about it, you do have Kirishima. He's one of my favorite characters in My Hero Academia. So I got to thinking, and eventually I threw the idea together. Kirisho Maniku can turn his body into bone, and basically a more versatile way of Kirishima's quirk and somewhat of Momoyagi Rose's quirk. He can create simple things like swords, spikes, and projectiles that he can throw from his arms, along with maintaining a body armor-like structure. It was a very interesting idea for a quirk to me, and I kind of pitched it for UA Year 1. Now, after pitching the idea, I was really excited about it. Then you do have... Crap, I don't know what he changed his name to right now. Kimotsuki, the Sin of Lust on YouTube. He reached out to me talking about the idea, and he did like it for a what if. I said he could do it because I was very excited. But, well, after thinking for a little bit of time, I sort of contacted him again. I told him that he can do the what if still, but I wanted to give it a shot at doing a what if. Ironically, the next day I uploaded 6 videos. Anyways, eventually, people started watching them and getting more and more into the series. In fact, I didn't really even plan on continuing the series, well, doing any other series. I wanted to focus on the bone manipulation one, but after I got done with it, well, I just wanted to keep going. So I did. And here we are. Can you make Naruto what ifs? That's a hard one. You see, I am actually trying to watch Naruto, but, well, it's a very, very long series. If I were to do a Naruto What If, that would probably take me a very, very long time, especially with my story making and my details. I want to say if I tried making a Naruto What If with how long the series actually is, crap, I don't even think I know how long the series is. It would probably take 60 or 70 parts. So I can try giving it a shot after I finish Naruto the series on YouTube or online, watching it somewhere, I can try and make a what if on it. However, if that what if gets very, very long, then, well, I'd have to cut out a lot of my details, just so the story can help fit better. Anyways, I would at least like to give it a shot. Will you ever expand on your universe's storytellings in a way that it's a different anime character altogether? Or Deku goes to a different place other than Earth? Well, actually, I have thought about that before. In fact, I have had the idea for a few different characters that could replace Deku, but even then, it wouldn't probably fit. I want to say I did have the idea about Ashta, but I didn't know too much about his power. Or, what was it? There was another character. What was his name? Uh, but yeah, anyways. I have had the idea to replace Deku with somebody else before, but that would probably change a whole lot of things. Or, well, I've even thought about making Deku go to different worlds. In fact, I had the idea for a fantasy series. Or a fantasy AU from My Hero Academia. I thought it would possibly be quite interesting. Sorry about that, guys. There was a bit of noise. Anyways. But yes, I would actually sometimes like to explore different worlds with My Hero Academia characters or send different characters into My Hero Academia world. Alright, now, do you have what if Deku was an OP Genos? I actually did have a few ideas. In fact, funny story. I picked two what ifs from the what if cup, and I flipped a coin. Whichever one succeeded was going to be the burnout series I would do to get out of this stump I was put in. Ironically, the other series was a Genos Deku, and an Immortal Bond Deku. So, I think we all know which one sadly won. Either way, both series would be good, and I can do that series sometime in the future. Are you going to continue the Black Widow what if? Yes, I will. But my what ifs have been put on hold, so it is easier for me to regain my balance. AKA, basically get my shit together. Because if I keep stretching myself out the way I have been doing, then I am going to confuse myself and run in circles, and basically have a lot of trouble with keeping the stories straight and on a path that I would put them on. Anyways, who inspired you to do What If, and can you do What If Deku was the son of Wonder Woman? Um, well, I can't really say someone inspired me, but actually, I think there's a question here that this can tie into. I've sort of watched a person called Samuel Zane do what ifs before. And, well, he does do some pretty good ones and he posts a lot, actually. I think he's currently doing what ifs now. I can't really say if he inspired me or not, but I think that he was somewhat of an influence on what I do now. And I can put that Son of Wonder Woman on the list. What do you think about this what if? When are you going to start with John Wick? What if Deku was trained by Yoichiro Haman? Hanma. Hanma. Or would it Deku was trained by Master Splinter? I already have number 3 on a list. I can put Men in Black Deku and Racial Ghoul Deku on the list along with number 2, but I do have a number 1 already. That is on hold. When will you do the What If Deku Had Bad Company come out? That one was part of a poll. So that one may not be coming out for a long time. That is going to be going in the What If Cup. That question I just answered. What happened to What If Deku was a psychopath? I just answered another one of these questions. That series is on hold until the other series are done with that I'm currently focusing on. AKA for right now, that would most likely be Bond Deku and Ultra Instinct Deku. And I know you don't like copying or being too similar to other What Ifers, but can you possibly do What If Deku was sent to another universe thing? I did just answer this question, I believe. What is your favorite What If that you or anyone has done? I just answered this, I believe. But, that anyone else has done other than me. What was it? I believe it was. I think it was a Generator Rex version of Deku. I can't remember properly. Do you know Devil May Cry? Yes, I have recently actually just played the game and bought all 5 of them. Because I was actually planning on doing a Devil May Cry Deku sometime in the future, so I know I would need to research them in order to do so. What if Deku had Nero? I have no idea what Nero is, but I can look into that. What were you thinking around the time when you first started What Ifs? As in, did you know or believe you would get to 6K subs? To be honest, I had no fucking clue what I was doing. To anyone who thinks that I'm well formatted or quite simply good at doing what I do, I quite literally do not script anything. As soon as I open my mouth, that is when the story starts forming. I barely think about stories sometimes. Sometimes I can have the story in my head all day and be like, okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can tweak this little piece. I can change the story to go this way, I can go this way. It's a whole thing. But to be honest, if I can go back in time and tell myself whenever I first started this all that, hey, you're not even a year into YouTube and you already got over 6,000 subscribers, I probably would have slapped myself in the face and say I was lying, to be honest. I did not have a lot of confidence in myself when I first started, but YouTube has actually made me a little bit more outgoing with myself. Anyways, what if Deku had Yu-Gi-Oh! As a quirk? You can summon monsters and cast off the spells. I'm not too sure how that will work. You see, the whole Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing, that would be a cool concept, but that's just like the whole Pokemon thing with Deku. I'm not too sure how you could really pull that off, since it's basically you're battling with monsters, and if Deku's the only one with a monster, or a Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster, that would mean that he's basically using a stand, kind of. That's kind of the best way I can put it without it being insulting. If you were to make a Deku OP to the point of universal defiance, what would you call him? Death. Will you be revisiting old what ifs? Yes, actually, I do plan on revisiting some of my older what ifs. It's just that I'm kind of waiting for more of the story to come out. In fact, I did plan on restarting some of my other what ifs after season 5, but it got delayed. So, yeah. I might start coming back and revisiting some of the older what ifs after season 5 does air, or at least begin to come out. Now, are you going to do Naruto what ifs? I did just answer this question. Do you know of Skrin or even Akrid? No, I do not know who those characters are. And then what if Deku was John Wick? Will you make him go to UA? Huh. Well, to be honest, I kind of did have a bit of a thing about that. I could make Deku go to UA, but even then, there's not really going to be a point. He's a contract killer assassin. Even if UA High School is a college or, well, even something else, I still do not believe that that would work out very well. Since Midoriya would basically be a full grown man with access to firearms, weaponry, and basically a million different ways to kill you with a pencil, or simply just a stapler or even a what? What's something that's not very deadly but I could see him using? A pencil holder. That would work, actually. But if I were to make a Deku that was in UA High School or a UA College version of the series, that would probably be something different. Anyways, what if Deku was in Sword Art Online? I have no idea what Sword Art Online is. I I do know what it is. That wasn't the right way to phrase it, but I have no idea about anything with Sword Art Online. All I know is I've seen a meme where it's like fucking weeb where he tries to grab a sword and it's not there on his back. I did think about looking into it, but so from some of the things I've heard about it, it's either really good or it's really bad, depending on who you ask. How do you make so that you feel alright with the content you make? Well, you see, I sort of just let the story flow. If I'm talking and I don't like what I'm currently saying, then I would stop my recording and try and find a way to curve it to feel better about myself. If I can make the story flow with one swift motion instead of trying to force something in there, that is how I am happy with the story. The story is good and complete if I can do that. If I can get through a flow of a river without someone trying to toss a rock into it to try and split the water apart, then I am all fine. Will you do another Marvel series like Spider-Man or Iron Man? I did a Spider-Punk Deku before I reached 1K. I believe that the Spider-Punk Deku was my 700 subscriber special. And I have thought about an Iron Man series, but that's kind of overrated. I have actually thought about a War Machine Deku. Basically, I give Midoriya War Machine armor. That would separate him from Iron Man and, well, mostly, that trend of people just doing famous heroes. In fact, this kind of does go with. Okay, I'm gonna say this now. I plan on doing a Black Panther Deku a little bit in the past, but sadly, with everything that was happening around that time, around Chadwick's death, bless that man's soul, and let him rest in peace, he, well, I didn't want to seem rude or insensitive. So I actually took that off of a poll I was doing. Now, with that being said, will you continue any real what ifs? Can you do a 7 Deadly Sins what if? I have done an Assault Mode Deku, and currently I am doing a Bond Deku. I have thought about doing all 7 of the Deadly Sins, but that would be a bit more complicated. Because I could either try doing them back to back or I can do them over time, like how it's kind of is right now. I did that one very far back in the past, and I'm currently doing one now. But jumping back to back from all 7 of the Deadly Sins, that probably wouldn't be that bad. Then again, it would have to involve a lot of different world building and changes. Then again, the what ifs would probably be too similar. First off, spooky, and second, do you ever think about doing different anime what ifs? Yes, I do, actually. I've thought about doing a bunch of different ones, but I do need to sit down and watch the animes I have seen people do what ifs on. And see if they would interest me to do a what if on. Can you maybe can you maybe, and this is a big maybe, can you redo old series with a new and better mic? Well, you see, the whole problem with that would be that if I were to start doing that, then basically I would have to spend a lot of time doing that. The whole problem would be that while I'm spending my time basically remastering old series, I might change something by accident, and or possibly even change the way the story was. But I can't understand where you're coming from. The audio back then was very bad, and if I could remaster it, well, if I would remaster it, I should say, not could. Could would imply I couldn't. If I would remaster it, then, well, it would be a very, very long process. Are you strictly My Hero Academia what ifs? I'm kind of strictly My Hero Academia what ifs right now, but I do want to expand more. When is the next part of John Wick? I am uncertain of. When I get done with my other series. Are you going to continue some of your old what ifs? I just answered that. Can you do what if Deku had the powers of the X-Men? It doesn't matter which one, like the X-Men mutants. I would say that I am already doing one because of Quicksilver, but I don't believe that you can technically consider him to be part of the X-Men. He is in the movies, but I don't believe he is in the comics at this point right now. I would have to check because I don't want to count him, but at the same time I might have to count him. Do you like classical jazz or the blues? It depends on the music. It has to be a certain way. But I would say the blues because I want to say if you can carry a melody a certain way, I can get really into music. How's your day going? It's been a little loud, but it's all right. How do you make what if so goddamn fast? I get bored. And well, I usually just start thinking. What type of memes do you like? Shit that's funny and will make me laugh. Whenever the rest of the what ifs I'm currently doing are out of the way, I just answer this question. In a video, you said you are younger than you don't even sound. Okay, I just answered this. I'm 19 years old, but I sound older than 21. Hmm. Um, Fighting styles of. I have no idea what Dawn Emperor is. Oh, For Honor. All those are sound possible to do, but they're all different. Mark of the Outsider. I'd have to look into that. Will you ever do what ifs like with monster quirks like Nux Taco, I think? Or change. Oh. So that's basically a what if Deku was the only male with a quirk or had a monster quirk. I could do those what ifs, but just that I haven't really had a what if that I've done yet where Deku can, well, should be mutated. Who is your favorite what if YouTuber? Um, I don't really know. I would have to say Samuel Zane. Because he does at least do some story and a lot of the plot at the same time. What is your favorite what if you have done? I have answered this question. Kirisho, are you just built differently? Yes. Ironically, yes. I actually do suffer from ADHD, so I technically am built differently. And that is not a fun thing to suffer from. What games do you play? Depends on what type of games, but I do play third-person shooters and first-person shooters, but I don't play games like Black Ops and I don't think FIFA or football games. Basically, anything that I do find fun, I could play. Hmm. Okay, Kirisho, if that's even your real name. It might be. The questions are, how is your asthma? It's doing good. Are you black? Okay, that question kind of does violate my privacy a little bit, so I am not going to answer that one. Where do you get your inspiration from? I don't really know. I just like doing what ifs, so I just keep doing them. Do you live in the live in the US? I'm not going to say because that doesn't really seem like a good question to answer. Are you a good person because from your villain what ifs, the way you talk freaks me out. And I feel like you're a scary guy to be around. Like the Punisher what if. Yeah, I kind of feel like you've killed someone before. I mean, that's just me. Well, I am a good person at heart, yes. And I think it's because more or less the way I talk and the way my voice sounds. In in real life, whenever I'm not recording, my voice sounds a bit more monotone. I think it's because I try and put a bit more emotion in my voice whenever I'm recording than I'm actually talking with other people sometimes. I think it's because I'm able to either smoothen out my voice to talk more like this, or I can slow it down a little bit and make things a bit more creepy, a little bit more eerie whenever I talk like this. And I think it's because everyone's only focusing on my voice whenever I'm doing the what if. That it may sound creepy or scary. But no, I have not killed anybody. Number 6. Hmm. Okay. That number 6 wasn't really a question. I feel like you kind of won't even answer these questions and I just wasted your time. No, you did not. How do I join your Discord? I can send you a link to my Discord after I get done recording. And let's see. I promise I won't go personal, only what ifs. Huh. Sadly, that's how things are nowadays with some weird people. Ironically, it's not even older people, it's younger people doing that. Let's see. Alright, let's continue. What if Deku had what? One? That makes no sense. What if Deku was the Mandalorians? Are you going to do some collabs with other What If creators? Well, the whole thing with a collab is I would do more of them, but with the, well, different scheduling things, I feel like it would be a lot harder to do and coordinate. So as of right now, no. When will be the next part of Void Deku? I am currently researching the Marvel Universe and trying to find events that would be good for that series. How old are you? What are your favorite ships in My Hero Academia? Well, actually, that's kind of a good question because someone has asked me that before. I want to say my favorite ships would probably have to be Deku X Mina, Deku X Mei, and, well, if we're talking ones that are not Deku, I could see Todoroki X Momo and, well, basically some of the classic ships that you would see that would fit the characters. What's your favorite anime and your first anime? I'm not too sure if, well, actually, yeah, you can consider it an anime. Dragon Ball was the first anime series I've ever watched, and my favorite anime, I would have to say it's either Attack on Titan or most likely, well, what was it called? It's sort of old. Was it? Hmm. Crap, what was the name of it? I remember watching it once. It was a horror anime. I think it was called Another. I think that's what it was, but I might be wrong. It's an anime I have watched for sure, but it's strange. Can you do what if Deku had Mjolnir's powers? I can one day, and it actually is on the list. Do you watch? I don't know who that is actually. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Which of your what ifs are your favorite? Can you continue the Todoroki brother? Can you do what if Deku had all for all? Can you do a face reveal? I basically stated in this video that I was not doing a face reveal, and I don't know why people keep asking for it. Do you do online school or normal school? I have already graduated actually, so I do not take any online schooling. Hello, hello. How old are you? Only thing I want to ask is there going to be more crossovers? Yes. I actually did have a bit of plans for something soon. Bond Deku and Deadpool Deku. As funny as that interaction would be, I am not even sure what the hell would happen, other than them basically trying to fight over like a chimichanga or something. Anyways, what do you look like? That would violate my privacy. I already answered this with a funny response. I basically said emotionally numb, but yeah, I basically said emotionally numb, but I was just joking. Anyway, guys, it would seem that that is all the questions I have right now. Hang on. But yes. Anyways, now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.